Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Have you ever covered a carpet stain with a rug? Ignored a leaky faucet? Pretended your half-painted living room is supposed to look that way? Well, you're not alone. We've all got unfinished home projects. Whether it's a door that sticks, or a disorganized closet, or an AC unit that only works half the time. It all matters. You just haven't taken care of it yet. But there's an easier way. Just download the Thumbtack app. You can search for what you need done and find tons of highly rated pros right in your neighborhood. Check prices, reviews, and book a pro right on the spot. Plus, you'll know what to tackle next, because Thumbtack is the app that shows you what to do, who to hire, and when. Pull out your phone and in just a few taps, say goodbye to all those unfinished home projects and say hello to caring for your home the easier way. Download Thumbtack and start a project today.
Taylor Eldrige joins us on the IHOP hotline. Don't forget to get out to IHOP, stop there, and try the cinnamon apple pecan pancakes, one of Taylor Eldridge's favorite dishes. Taylor, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm actually looking at an IHOP right now, so good timing.
You can't be serious.
Hey, I'm at a Panera right now on Ridge. I'm looking at IHOP right now.
Oh, you're looking at IHOP. There you go. Well, you should have gone over there for the cinnamon apple pecan pancake.
Maybe that's dessert for Taylor.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so the Shockers got their first portal player out of Lipscomb, a shooting guard by the name of A.J. McGinnis. I know you go on a deep study of these kind of players. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's a shooter. You know, he's going to do a lot of similar things as Colby Rogers did. I don't think he's quite, as prolific as a three-point threat as Colby, but he's pretty good. You know, it's hard to find 40% shooters in the portal. So he's going to bring shooting to the team. After watching tape on him, I don't think he's going to do a lot of playmaking. He's probably not going to be on the ball very much, but he's going to be able to stretch the floor, be a shooter, in the corner, on the wing. So I think he's a good add, as a first guy. They got 3 spots left as it stands. So I think that's a good start for them. They obviously need to improve the shooting, as a team that really struggled, and then you lose your only good shooter. So, they need to add multiple guys that can shoot it. So this is a solid start. It's a guy that's probably pencil him in, to play, pretty big role. Just because of that shooting, and I think he's going to be, a good add for Wichita State.
Does it look like to you the Shockers are chasing shooting? We know they're chasing ball handling as well. Does that indicate that they might be going with more of a small ball approach or whatever you might call that in today's modern game of basketball? Does that seem to be the direction they're going?
It does. It'll be interesting to see. It's still, it's a long off season. You remember last year, they added Dalen Original like in the end of July. So, a lot can happen over the summer. The portal does close up the 1st of May, but there's still graduate transfers. There's a lot of, wiggle room that can happen. So, but you're right. They are targeting a lot of guards, a lot of playmakers. They had the Georgia point guard, Justin Hill, on an official visit this last weekend. They brought in Oral Roberts, playmaker, Isaac McBride. Both of those guys would have the ball in their hands a lot. And, haven't heard too much about, a stretch 4, or a big guy. So, I mean, I think they are targeting playmakers, guys that can shoot it and handle it, for, at least for right now. And then I think you are going to see them add at least one big. And it'll be interesting to see, if they add, 3 of these guards, what do you do with the 4? Ronnie DeGray, showed some promise last year, but, he's really the only 4 on the roster, and they don't have a backup 5 right now behind Quincy Ballard. So they would be pretty thin up front because a lot of those guys are guards, 2-3, 2-3s. So, it will be interesting to see what they do as the portal season progresses. But right now, I think you're right. I think they are definitely targeting smaller guards, guys that can shoot it and handle it.
Taylor Eldrige, our guest from the Wichita Eagle, covers Shocker athletics and everything else. So we often talk about Penny Hardaway here on this show, and we're curious about how he holds on to his job at Memphis because they seem to underachieve given the talent they have. And yet, here in the transfer portal, they not only bring in Colby Rogers, they bring in the kid from Tulsa as well. And it just looks like the talent just keeps flocking to Memphis, but they never really produce with that level of talent. What's your theory? And are they as we sit here today, do they look like the best team for next year in the American?
Yeah, I mean they have a lot to reload. I mean they lost basically everyone. So, but yeah, I mean you're right. The recruits, year in, year out, they seem to flock to Penny. And, there's something to that, that appeal of just like his status in the game of basketball. They play in that NBA arena. Memphis crowd is, it's a very passionate fan base. So I think there is, an appeal to Memphis. But you're right, you would expect, NCAA tournaments every single year and a deep run, they probably should have gotten to at least a Sweet 16 by now in his tenure with the talent that they've had. So, but yeah, it is kind of interesting. It's the second year in a row where they've just kind of plucked the best of the American. I think they're going to add the North Texas stretch 4, Aaron Scott. I think he's probably going to join Memphis as well. So, that's 3 of the better players in the American last season all going to Memphis. So they seem to, they like what they see in the conference, and they go out and get those guys in the off season. But yeah, I mean, I think there is building pressure on Penny. He's had a good run, but just not what they expect out there. They want NCAA every year and deep runs every so often. So I mean, he's going to have to start winning, especially with the talent that they have in, and it'll be interesting to see how they navigate the portal. It seems like they're one of those teams where they're treating it like 1-year cycles, 1 year and then just reload. So I think Wichita State's trying to do the opposite of that. They're trying to get guys to stay. So it'll be interesting, two different strategies. We'll see how it kind of plays out, in the coming years.
So just building on top of that, you mentioned the kid from North Texas who looks like he's going to go to Memphis. And I talked about Haggerty from Tulsa. And Colby Rogers. How deflating is it to fan bases to kind of get their hopes up to see a kid like Haggerty, who was an outstanding freshman? Tulsa had a little better year this year. It looked like maybe they were going to be able to build something, and then the rug's taken out from under them, and he goes to Memphis. That'd be tough not to become cynical as a fan of one of those teams, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the biggest obstacle. When you hear Paul Mills and Kevin Saul just hammer, they did their radio tour and just really hammered home, we want to use NIL for retention instead of acquisition. And it's just really tough, in today's environment when it really is a 1-year cycle for the high majority of teams. And it's just, it's hard on fans because, like you said, fans really enjoy watching a player develop and, growing. And, it's like, I remember him when he was a freshman, kind of like Marcus McDuffie, and then he develops into, that star player that senior year. And guys like that, it's just it's going to be very, very rare to have 4-year guys that are here for for their whole career. And, that's the uphill battle for Wichita State when you're trying to retain guys in an environment where it's just really, really hard. Because if they have a good season at Wichita State, those, the SEC, the Big 12, those schools are going to come calling, trying to poach these guys, and it's really tough for the fans and who like that continuity. They like to see players develop and grow, and right now it's not looking like that's going to be a realistic thing for schools like Wichita State and really a lot of the American, because if they blow up here, like what's to say, they might not just be moving on after a really good year. So I know Paul Mills is going to, I talked to him last week, and he said he's going to do, really vet the kids before he brings them in. And I think he really is, going to try to get a group that will stay together. We'll see if that's possible in the NIL era, though.
So, out of the 5 returners, or at least guys that as of now are returning to Wichita State, you would think Quincy Ballard has a role carved out for him, maybe even a role bigger than he had last year. What about the other 4, Cortez, Bell, Beverly, and DeGray? Do you get the sense that Wichita State is recruiting over those guys? Will they take a little bit of a backseat, or how much adjusting do you think those guys will have to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think, guys like Beverly and Bell, who played 30 minutes last season, that's not going to be the case next season. They're going to bring in, definitely in the backcourt, they're going to try to upgrade. I don't think it's, they're obviously not going to sell it as, taking a back seat. They're just going to be like, we're going to bring in better guys, and you're still going to have a role. And it's possible, you take less usage and the efficiency goes up. That's what you hope. Someone like Xavier Bell and Harlan, they had to carry probably a little bit bigger load than probably they're comfortable with. So if you take that a little off, then you hope, okay, if we can get that down to like 20 minutes and you're not taking as many shots, not having to force as many up, you're hoping that the numbers will go up, the efficiency will go up. So it could be, a win-win for everyone. But, yeah, I think guys that were playing 30 minutes last year, probably not going to be the case next season. But I do think all those returners are certainly going to be in the rotation. They're going to have a role next season. Might not be as many minutes. But I think, yeah, Quincy Ballard, that's a guy, one of his best, ability, you always hear that. The best ability is availability. He was hardly in foul trouble. He does a really good job, contesting without fouling. And now, no Kenny Cotto. They're obviously going to bring in a backup 5, but, you could see him play closer to 30 minutes next season too. And he could be, you pair him with a little bit better, more steady point guard, better shooting to space the floor. He could have a monster season, if the things break right. But we'll have to wait and see who they add, these last 3 spots.
Talking with Taylor Eldrige from the Wichita Eagle. Final question for you. I talked earlier in the show about Shocker softball. They're 19-17. Certainly some high spots, but not maybe the record we anticipated. Baseball's 21-16. They've certainly had also some high spots. But we're now left to judge programs on a yearly basis. There's no more, well, look what they're building. They've got this young team and this young nucleus. They're going to be around a while. In a year or two, look at what they're going to have. We don't do that anymore, right?
Yeah, I think you've seen it more in baseball. Christy Breadbender at softball, they've done a good job. They kept Sid McKinney and Addison Barnard when, teams like OU were, I've heard stories that, they were just hitting them up, pretty hard, trying to get them to hit the portal and never did. So I think the softball, they deserve a lot of credit. You hear Kevin Saul say it all the time about just building a culture. And I think Christy Breadbender has done a good job of that. The girls that she brings in, she's shown a pretty high rate of, keeping the ones that she wants. Baseball, that's been another story. It seems like that certainly has been, more of a revolving door, kind of like men's basketball. So we'll see, if what Brian Green is able to do. He's got a lot of good freshmen on this team. So, yeah, but to your point, will they stay together? Well, are they going to be building something? Because it's been a pretty encouraging first year. I think, I don't think a lot of people knew what to expect from baseball. And I think they've probably overachieved compared to what a lot of people probably expected. And softball, yeah, a little down with the record, but they're still in the mix for an at-large berth. If you look at that RPI, it's still very competitive in the 40s. They need to start winning series, though. You take one home tomorrow against a really good Oklahoma State team. That would be huge. But they need to start winning, series on the weekend to keep that status of, being right on the bubble.
All right, Taylor, we'll let you get back to Panera Bread, and appreciate your time, okay?
All right, thanks again.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Everybody knows it. Toyota trucks are the stuff of legends. Rugged, durable, everlasting. Toyota makes trucks that just don't quit. And now Toyota is driving that legacy toward the future with two of their most powerful trucks ever, the new Tundra and the all-new Tacoma. In a half-ton Tundra, you can rule the roads. From the comfort of a spacious cabin with connected tech and plenty of hauling power, the Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Or check out the all-new 24 Tacoma, redesigned and electrified to maximize your adventure. With a bevy of available off-road driving and power transfer modes, you will effortlessly crush the conditions. And with the Tacoma's reimagined interior, you'll do it in style. And right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a Tundra or Tacoma today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
We really need new phones.
T-Mobile will cover the cost of 4 amazing new iPhone 15s, and each line is only $25 a month.
New iPhone 15s?
It's better over here. Only at T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 15s on us and 4 lines for $25 per line per month with eligible trade-in when you switch.
Minimum of 4 lines for $25 per line per month with autopay discount using debit or bank account. $5 more per line without autopay, plus taxes and fees. Phone fee at 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling account to continue bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. $35 per line connection charge applies. See T-Mobile.com.